Wait. Say it again.
Laura.
Alright, next.
Diane.
Next.
Kim.
Okay. What do you think are some symptoms of depression in teenagers? Feeling sad, annoyed, showing no interest in normal daily life activities. When a teenager has depression, that could lead to severe suicidal thoughts. Mental health is a huge issue with teenagers. They may not know how to cope with their own depression. I have researched the causes of depression and the ways that teenagers could cope with depression. Since I have personal connection with depression, since I myself have been diagnosed with depression and someone else close to me has also been diagnosed with it, I want to start this discussion off by teaching you about what depression is, symptoms and causes of depression, and the ways to help our teenagers cope to help their depression. The definition of depression is that it is a common and serious medical illness that negatively affects how you feel, think, and act, and also preserve the world, often characterized by persistent sadness, loss of interest, and difficulty with daily activities. Depression is also known as a major depressive disorder. 1 in 7, which is 14%, from ages 10 to 19 years of age have experienced a mental disorder. Depression is a mood disorder that causes a persistent feeling of sadness and loss of interest. There are other symptoms of teenagers having depression, and it's something that is increasing in teens and their causes. Some of these symptoms are loss of interest or pleasures, such as hobbies or sports, weight loss or gain, anxiety, slow thinking, speaking, and body movements, and also suicidal thoughts. Depression has no single cause, but it has many factors. Some of the causes are genetics, stress, abuse or neglect, trauma, loss of loved ones, or sexuality. Issues about self-sexuality. There are so many ways for our teenagers to help with depression. This is how we can help them cope with it. Without treatment, depression can last for weeks, months, or even years, and without it being treated, it can cause issues with relationships and social problems. There are many ways to help teenagers to live with depression in so many ways. Just got to access all the possible supports. Way to help the teenagers are talking to them about what's going on in school. Social media and bullying is also a major contributor to depression among the teens. Take medicine as prescribed. Find the right amount of the dosage for them to take. Get to show love and support for them so they know that they are not alone and they also just want to be listened to. Depression is something is not to take lightly because there is still so many symptoms, causes, and treatments to help the teenagers. Some other symptoms that you can notice in teenagers that have depression are withdrawals from friends and activities, anger and rage, poor self-esteem or guilt. The teenager could also resource to cover their pain by using substance abuse or alcohol, or also become sexually promiscuous, but reach the point of suicidal thoughts or actions. For example, my husband has been diagnosed with depression since he was 10 years old. He would act out to where there would be fights in school and at home. He would verbally blurt out to teachers of name calling to where he would about ending his life. The cause of depression is also from other mental health problems, such as chronic illness as diabetes, other development, learning, or conduct disorders, and traumatic brain injuries such as car accident or abuse. For another example, my husband also has ADHD, so with the mix of ADHD and depression, he was not the best person to be around. He would say that everything is not going as planned or in his way or in his favor, just having a real attitude problem. Other than antidepressants, talk therapy, there is also family therapy that supports and encouragement of the family members that can give the teens hope and a sense of self-worth to where it could also help the family. There is also school assistants, which are school counselors and school psychiatrists can serve as a source and advocates for the teens. With all this kind of information, we can help teenagers catch their symptoms ahead of time just by learning to what they are saying. Depression is where the teenagers have low self-esteem, sadness, and a loss of interest of normal daily life activities. There are so many ways to catch on to the symptoms of depression. Every single one should be taken seriously, but when it comes to suicidal thoughts, that's when actions need to be taken immediately. When it comes to treatment and being diagnosed, it is very important so teenagers can seek the help that they need to improve. Mental health is a serious issue today because teenagers have so much pressure on them in a lot of categories such as family, friends, schools, sports, and themselves.